Another thing that I suppose would be worth mentioning is that, for me, one of the biggest things that helped me get better from everything, from major depression, anxiety, and then the very frightening depersonalization, was getting my hormones in balance. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that's a part of my story. It wasn't for a long time. I mean, I spent a year in my major agitated, depersonalized depressive episode. Anyway, with really almost no relief. I mean, a little bit compared to how bad I was, let's say the first 4 or 5 months, but barely better. Hanging on for dear life in general, not doing well in a treatment-resistant depression. So my first year, I was just trying medication after medication after medication. I even got approved for RTMS, which is basically just a magnetic shock therapy in the brain to try to snap me out of this horrible condition I was in. Then I randomly stumbled upon a blood draw testing my testosterone level after watching some YouTube video. This is like a year or so into my my depressive episode, and it turns out I had really low testosterone. And getting my hormone levels in check has been monumental in my recovery. You can even look back to my very first videos, right when I was just starting, and I'm pretty... No, it's very obvious that I'm a lot better off, and I'm grateful for that, and I thank God every day. So get your levels drawn. Find out if there's anything out of whack, whether it's hormonal, whether it's your vitamins and minerals that you're lacking in, some basic nutrient. Find out if you have some food sensitivities. Some people are allergic to foods or have serious sensitivities to foods that give them these symptoms, such as feeling foggy, out of it, lethargic, fatigued. And it's just based on what they're ingesting into their body. So just basically get a full blood panel and at least make sure everything is where it should be, because when it's not, symptoms occur, and it's huge, and it's important, and if you can afford it and you have the means, please do so. It's key. I mentioned food, and that's another thing for coping with depersonalization. Put good things into your body. Now, I am not like some six-pack ab, trim, skinny guy. I mean, if you've watched my videos, you know that I've struggled with weight, especially since starting my testosterone replacement therapy. I got pretty heavy, but I worked out like a fiend, and I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to balance it, and I'm eating better in general. And all I know is that when I ate terrible, it made my symptoms worse. But even before I had the treatment where I was just really bad, it just took me from horrible to, oh my God, horrible. Now it takes me from moderate symptoms to mild symptoms to sometimes a little bit moderate if I ingest too much processed foods and sugars that are spiking my blood sugar level, and my insulin levels are flying up and down. That probably didn't sound very smart, but the point is, when you're putting clean, healthy foods into you, greens, lean meats, whole grains, and staying away from processed foods in general, like fast food and just boxed microwavable food, candy, ice creams. It's just, I don't want to go on an endless rant about nutrition, but I really can't stress enough the benefits of minimizing and coping with your condition, of just eating a healthier diet. And that's something, of course, we all have to work towards, even if we don't have mental illness. But if you do, you're not doing yourself any favors if you're just putting horrible shit into your body, and then you're also dealing with all your symptoms. Another really important thing in my recovery and my coping and dealing with depersonalization, derealization, was having a support system. I mean, it is such an overwhelming experience that you need to make sure someone knows what you're going through. And if someone really close in your life just can't wrap their head around it, because most people that haven't gone through this, mental illness in general, they really can't fathom, they can't comprehend the type of things that you're trying to explain to them. And you'll drive yourself nuts just trying to get them to believe you that, hey, something's wrong with me. Don't leave your safety in the hands of someone else that you can't explain. There are people out there that do understand. Reach out, find support. You're not alone. That was one of the most important things for me to get my head around, was the fact that as fucked as I felt, I was not by myself in this suffering. Others were either in it with me. Not that I want anyone to be in this, but they were either in it with me or they had gone through it and they were able to give me a voice of reason. So if you need me to be, let me be your voice of reason. It doesn't matter if we don't know each other. Just keep in mind that I have been so ill, mentally speaking, that I had to be hospitalized for a week on suicide watch, and I have tried everything under the sun for trying to get better. And I was hopeless, and now I am no longer suicidal. I'm not hopeless, and I have improved, I'd say, 85%. which is 90%, which is huge. If I can do it, you can do it. If you don't believe it, don't worry about it. I'll believe it for you. Let me just be that voice of reason that says you're there, you're going to be okay, you're in pain. Let me acknowledge your pain and tell you that it will get better. You just have to do the little things you can to hang on and let time do its thing. And of course, be active in finding treatment. So that can be either a friend, a support group that you find online. You can even go to a doctor. If you haven't gone to a physician about this, it's not a bad idea at all to have someone overseeing your care. In terms of like treatment, what can I do to get it better? Because a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do I get rid of it? How do I get rid of it? Well, one, just if you would follow the suggestions I mentioned earlier, it'll help at least figure out what's doing what and what's causing what and what we're really dealing with. And two, I think holistic approaches should always be tried first. Now, it depends how dire your situation is in terms of if you want to start trying some medications. Now, yes, I'm talking about brain meds, which I am on one left. I'm still on nortriptyline. But, depending on what you're going through, you might want to go that route. Or you can try holistic approaches with diet and all that stuff. Well, of course, and there's just supplementation of other things. And what else can I say? Trying to be thorough. Tend not to make notes. I kind of like to go off the top of the head. Maybe I should. So, how long will you be this way? That is the question I ask myself. How much longer? How long is it going to take for me to start to feel better? And there's the answer I'm going to give you will not satisfy you. I promise you that, because it didn't really satisfy me. It only turned out to be pretty much true. And it will take as long as it takes. And that's a shitty answer, right? You don't want to hear that when you're hurting. But everyone's different. So I couldn't sit here and tell you in 6 months you're going to be better. That's one of the biggest mistakes people made with me early on in my condition. They said, don't worry. The average mental, the major depressive episode lasts 6 months. In 6 months you'll be good as new. Don't worry. And so I just constantly was waiting for the certain date to come where my mind would be functioning properly and I would be okay. And that's not really how it worked for me. Mine really did linger. And it lingered a lot longer than for some people and not as long as for others. So what you should take from that in the good way is that you may be healed and better quick. Maybe the next month, maybe the next 3 months, 6 months. Some people are going to have to stick it out a little bit longer until they find out what's going on. Be it hormone levels or just basic blood levels, making sure everything's in line, or certain medication that for whatever reason did need to happen for you, or supplementation of a natural option. But the only thing I could say that will keep you from getting better is doing drugs and trying to drink yourself better when you're dealing with this type of issue, depersonalization, derealization. Who knows how long you're going to prolong it there. I don't want to sound judgmental, because we all have to do what we have to do. But from the bottom of my heart, that's the one thing I believe will for sure prolong, lengthen, and just inevitably keep you in this horrible state. You have to clear your head and give your brain a chance to heal. So I think that's all I got. It's all I can come up with off the top of my head right now. I think I covered about everything I wanted to. And you know what? If you are suffering, I want you to know that even if you don't know me, I am here. You can send me a message. You can send me a comment. You're not alone, and you should know that. And for everyone else who in general, if you're subscribed to this channel, then this is your channel as well. Shoot me a comment below and let me know what you would like for a video, and I'm going to try to accommodate that. I have a lot of videos I need to knock out because I've had a lot of people just send me requests or suggestions, and I want to try to accommodate them. And I think that's about all I got. So that's it for depersonalization, derealization, how to cope, manage your symptoms, and eventually alleviate them and have your brain repattern and feel better. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of perseverance, and you're not alone, so always remember that. Again, my name is Noah, and we'll do another video real soon, guys. Alright, take care.